Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm back here at one of my favorite filming spot locations because guess what? We have that premium brand from Nissan bringing a mid-size SUV. It's this vehicle right here. What is it? It's a 2024 Infiniti QX60. This particular one is the top Autograph trim. But before we get into this three-row SUV that has all-wheel drive, let's talk about what's going on here. In the late 1980s, the Japanese brands wanted to create some premium touches. So what they did was they created premium brands. Acura was the first Japanese brand to be created by Honda, that premium brand from Honda. But then in 1989, two other brands would follow, Toyota and Nissan. Toyota with Lexus and Nissan with Infiniti. Now what's interesting is Infiniti is having a little bit of a resurgence. Their lineup has gone a little stale in a long, long time. And it really was the QX60 just a couple years ago that had a redesign, one of the first for their vehicles since about 5 years ago. Now what's fascinating is, get ready because they're gonna be bringing redesigned QX80s and of course adding new models to their lineup. Now, when it comes to SUVs that are luxurious, there's a lot of competition out there. But what I want to find out is, do you go with this QX60 Autograph, say over a better trim from BMW with the X5, like a higher trim X5? Do you go that route? Or should you just get yourself a platinum trim Nissan Pathfinder because they sit on the same platform, the QX60 and the Pathfinder. So let's go ahead, let's dive into this QX60 and find out, is it the best new luxury midsize SUV to buy? Let's go check it out. Right off the bat, the dimensions. I really like this new platform. I feel like it gives a great overall size, but also the sheet metal is looking fantastic. Now at the front of the business, you'll see how they reshaped their headlights. Really made it much thinner, not so tall, not so bulbous. Everything is LED daytime running lamps, turn signals, and headlights. You'll notice in the lower corners, we gotta have a zonk. And the reason why is these good-looking fake vents, well, they're just that, they're fake. I wish that they were functional corner air curtains or put some LED fog lamps in there. But the way that they sculpted each of the corners of the front fascia really give it a nice overall sporty appearance without being too over the top. You'll notice we have a little bit of flat black and then some of this gunmetal metallic gray finish. Now, as we come across the front grille, I really think that Infiniti does a great job with their grille designs. It actually is there to simulate water. And then you'll notice with our Infiniti badge, how you actually have LED ambient lighting. This badge lights up at night, gives it a great overall look. The Infiniti name stamped in that chrome style trim that's around the perimeter. And I think one of the touches that I like is how the lighting actually intersects with that chrome finish. Kind of just breaks it up a little. We have more blue. Of course, the grille is fully functional. More blue and then some flat black. And I like the way they styled it where they have these metallic gray areas, not all connected, one on each side. Definitely digging the front. Now, as we rise up, you have that traditional peak that actually starts on the trim, goes into the hood and goes all the way towards the windshield. And then you'll notice how the hood also peaks on both sides. Much different than what a Pathfinder hood looks like and much different than the front of a Pathfinder. And I'm actually liking the style of this better than the BMW X5. I really feel like BMW styling has gotten really wacky over the past 5 years or so. Now, as we come around the bend, what are we working with wheel and tire setup? What you're gonna notice, we have these 20-inch wheels, metallic gray finish machined aluminum. This is the type of wheel that I expect from Infiniti. It's a little on the safe side, but it does look classy with the metallic blue finish. And if you're wondering, well, Joe, what's the size of the tire? 255, all four corners, 50 series sidewall. The vehicle is front wheel drive, but it will send power to the rear wheels because we have the all-wheel drive model. I think the major zonk that I have on the side is that right there. The fender openings, although I like the way they're flared a little bit, I wish they were all body colored, especially on an Infiniti. Let me know in the comment section how you feel about that. Coming down the side of the rest of the vehicle, you do have power folding side mirrors, black with LED, turn signals super slim and trim, 360-degree cameras. You do have bright shiny metalwork top and bottom, chrome on the door handle, and then a chrome strip that almost looks like a butter knife as it flares into the back portion, and it has the Infiniti name stamped into it, just like the front grille. I actually like that touch. It's not too over the top. You'll notice the two-tone roof, painted black roof with the blue, and I actually like the way they did that because the roof rails actually blend in all nicely together. Coming towards the rear, they did a nice job shaping that quarter glass, and look at how they did the trim. By not bringing it on the back edge, it gives it a nice look and it doesn't make the back quarter panel look too heavy. One of my favorite things is as we swing around, you'll notice how off the passenger rear doors, it flares into the rear quarter panel, full LED taillights. And then on the back, you do get a pretty decent long roof spoiler. I just wish, of course, that there was enough room to get rid of this wiper. That to me is a zonk. It would really just clean up the back, but you have that classy Infiniti badge. I like the way they're just spelling everything out for you. And then, of course, all-wheel drive, like I mentioned, QX60. And what's great is that they actually got rid of the chrome. They used to put chrome in here. It looked like a fake exhaust. I like it better now because now it just looks like a design, and it matches nicely with the metallic gray that's split on both sides of the front bumper area. And then, of course, you're going to have full towing capability, which this could tow 6,000 pounds. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and see what's powering this QX60. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. You do have hood struts underneath the hood. Tasteful engine cover, simple, to the point. What we have, the good news, I think a lot of people are gonna like, is a naturally aspirated V6. So no turbocharged engine, no 4-cylinder turbo. You're basically looking at 295 horsepower, 270 pound-feet of torque. It's made into a 9-speed automatic transmission. That's a ZF 9-speed automatic transmission. 0 to 60 in about 6.1 seconds. Top speed is governed to 120 miles per hour. The vehicle does weigh 4,710 pounds. MPGs, 20 in the city, 25 on the highway, but it does tow 6,000 pounds, like I said, at the tail end of the business by where you would hook up your trailer. But why don't we go ahead, we talked about it, let's fire it up and see if it makes any sound. All right, guys, we are inside this 2024 Infiniti QX60 Autograph. Now, I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I want a new SUV. I've been thinking I want something different. I've been driving German Euro SUVs. I kind of like this redesigned Infiniti, and I'm actually surprised because I've never been a fan of Infiniti, especially Infiniti of late, but I'm really liking this QX60. How much is it? So this being the top trim, with all-wheel drive, has an MSRP of $69,000. Let's see what you get for the money. To the door panels. I love the way they have everybody covered. You have soft touch material up top with the contrast stitching. Love that real black wood finish. And then, of course, you have 2 memory seat settings for the passenger seat. And then look at the center section, especially where the Bose sound system speaker is. Look at the way they shape everything. That nice contrast stitching with the tan. Door pocket, pretty decent size. Easily get, I would say, 2 beef and cheddars and some curly fries and a large Dr. Pepper to wash it down. Now, going from the door panel to the dash, it continues. Look at this diamond pleated stitching. White with the tan, the black wood stain finish, and then white stitching up top. Very, very nicely done. A little bit of gloss black, but you're really not going to be touching it. And they brought the soft touch material all the way around. And then I like the way, look at this. You actually have a storage place for a purse, a bag, a sack, a satchel. Heck, You could put a 5-pound bag of red delicious apples there easily. And remember, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. But the big question is, I don't know why they call them red delicious apples, because every time I bite into one, they taste like crap. I prefer like a Honey Crisp, a Gala, a Pink Lady. Those are really good. Red delicious, I feel like that's what you give people that you don't like. What I do like in here is you have the large 12.3-inch infotainment system, navigation, wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, full touchscreen. And I'm okay with it being a floating iPad style because I think that it's not too high. And I really like the dimensions of it. Let me throw it into reverse here. Resolution could be a little bit better, but you do have 360 and you have trajectory, which is great. And then another thing you'll like is when you make your seat adjustments, it shows up on the screen for both driver and passenger, and both driver and passenger have massage settings. So I hit adjust here. See how you can make the adjustments, intensify, quicken the speed. Maybe you like it nice and slow. You can make it nice and slow. Maybe you want a little bit more intense. Go all the way, baby. Really nice to have that just easy to use system. It doesn't need to be complicated. Working our way down, this is interesting. So it's not actually physical buttons. You have to touch the gloss black. So to make that blower fan, that's what you're gonna have to hit. You do have an air purifier, which is really nice. Heated steering wheel. And then you'll notice that we have 3 stages of ventilated seats and 3 stages of heated seats. So they have you covered there, and you have the dual climate. I love the digital displays on how the dual climate operates very easily. Down below you have wireless charging, a USB-C in there, a USB-A. This is your electric shifter for the 9-speed automatic. You got the D mode. So that's your driving modes, which I'll show you that on the business end. Start stop button, nice silver finish. 2 cup holders, and here is our Infiniti key fob. I don't mind it. It's actually just right. Remote start. This direct drive control knob controls the screen if you don't want to touch it, if you have a fear of screens. Look at the way they bring the leather everywhere in here. Really, really digging that. Open it up. You got a 12 volt, and you got enough room in here for 2 packages of Fig Newtons. I know this is going to sound crazy. I like Fig Newtons. And I remember when I was a kid, I used to tell my mom, she would say, "Joseph, stop eating all the cookies." And I would be eating Fig Newtons. I used to say to my mom, "These are actually good for you because they're made from figs, unlike chocolate chip cookies." But obviously, they're still not that great for you. Seats, the leather, stitching. Look at the way it says Autograph. That's called cursive, kids. If you don't know, that's cursive, not print. Diamond stitching, the piping, full electric assist with the massage for the passenger and the driver. And then check, 1, 2, 3. You got a massive panoramic sunroof with the power shade that goes all the way back. And then it comes back. Hurry up. Let's go. Thank you. And then the cherry on top of this luxurious Sunday is we have a digital rearview mirror. So they got you covered there. But why don't you come over to the business end? I actually have a flat bottom steering wheel I want to show you in this Infiniti. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. You do have 2 memory seat settings for the driver's side. I really like this black chrome finish where it has the Infiniti name that lights up LED. Looks like somebody spilled something there. I think Steven spilled his mocha latte crappa that he made me buy him from Starbucks. I do have all the seat controls, like I said, easy to get to. They put the massage button right where you need it after that stressful day where the kids are driving you nuts, your boss is driving you nuts, and you just want to drive off a cliff. Hit that button and you won't feel that way anymore. I'm 6 feet tall, plenty of room in here. Steering wheel, I told you, flat bottom, like the stitching, nice leather. Wish there was some stitching on the horn button, but other than that, it still looks good. Flat black on the switch gear. You do have paddles, they are plastic behind the wheel to go through the 9-speed automatic, and there is an electric tilting and telescoping steering wheel. And then you have that beautiful digital display. I mean, look at that. Nice 12.3-inch, beautiful graphics. We could go into our different modes: sport, auto, eco, and then of course, personal. That's where you get really personal with your QX60. Let it know that you like long walks on the beach, that you like candlelight dinners, and that you love the massage it gives you after a hard day at work. but it's nice to have that digital display with the clear graphics and a head-up display. But why don't we get into the mid-row? Yes, I know you don't believe it. There are 3 rows in this QX60. Let's get in the mid-row and see if your passengers are going to enjoy being in this Autograph. All right, guys, mid-row time. And what's awesome is for the mid-row passenger, they get the same great seat, the piping, the wonderful stitching. I just wish they would make these armrests a little bit wider. The American car brands know how to do it. They give you a nice beefy armrest. This one I'm going to have to zonk. But you do have the leather nice all the way around. Large pockets. You could easily put, I would say, 3 silver dollar pancakes from IHOP. And then you'll also notice our little command center. Heated seats, but no ventilated seats. I'm sorry, but at almost 70 G's, I want ventilated seats. The button could be right here. I mean, look at it. It's like right there. But you have heated seats. You got your AC controls, USB-C, USB-A, and a home power source. And then when it comes to the seats, very, very versatile. So you have your sliding action. Of course, you have your recline, which is really nice. You even have those security shades. Look how easy those are to put up. I'm going to put them back down just because I want to. And then what's interesting is that you could actually remove this center console. Now, the good news about it is you could put a bag of cheese puffs back here, maybe some Cheetos, and then you have your 2 drinks. But if you remove this, and then you do this, you can actually take it with you. So if you don't want anybody to ever take this from you, take it with you, or you could give it to somebody as a gift. And then to put it back, it's actually quite simple. I wish this didn't have to come off. They couldn't have figured out an easier way to get to a handle without having to do this. Because then you go like that, and you're good to go. But we're going to go ahead, we're going to get into the 3rd row and see, are your passengers going to be squished like a PB&J that you overstuffed with the PB? Let's go ahead and find out. All right, guys, 3rd row time, and I hate to say it, your 3rd row passengers are definitely going to be the people that you put back here that you don't like very much, because first of all, they don't get the same cool material, stitching and all that as the other 2 rows, the front seat passengers and the mid row. And then second of all, it's literally like 2 planks of wood wrapped with this leather. And that's it. It's really flat on the bottom and on the back. Not comfortable at all. My knees are way too high. They give you a place to put your phone, but it's not like a wireless charging. What the hell am I going to do with that? I do have a USB-A on both sides, which are nice, 2 cup holders, but this is it. I don't feel very luxurious back here. I'm starting to feel a little sad. But why don't we go ahead, let's see if we can save the day and get some nice cargo space in this QX60. All right, guys, cargo area time. They actually hide the button to lift the back lift gate here very well, so well that it took me a second to find it. It's actually right here. You hit that. Nice electric assist. Opens up very quickly, so make sure you stand back. What you're going to be greeted to, I left the 3rd row up just to give you a visual reference of how much space we have. 15 cubic feet of space with that 3rd row up. Now, the great news is on the driver's side, you do have yourself a 12 volt, and you do have the buttons to fold down the mid row. To get the 3rd row down, I like the way they keep it so simple. You're just gonna put the headrest down first. That's easy. And now you're just gonna lift up on the tabs. It doesn't get any easier than that. So I just went from 15 cubic feet of space up to, guess what, 42 cubic feet of space. You fold down the mid row, you're looking at 74 cubic feet of space. Now, like I pointed out, sitting in the 3rd row, you do have USBs that are nicely underneath this little rubber cover and 2 cup holders, but it's a little on the tight side. What is underneath door number 1? Lift it up, look at all that great storage. Absolutely love, and I wish, look, see, it's a lie. I wish that this was a drain plug. It's actually not a drain plug because I would love to turn this into a cooler, but you can't, because there's no drain plug unless you want to suck all the water out. Maybe get somebody that's really thirsty and tell them to suck all the water out. The nice thing is, look, it stays open. So as you're putting things in here, You don't have to worry about it constantly closing on you all the time. You just, look at that. Do it this way, do it this way, do it that way. Oh, that's the limit. So we showed the limits of this, and then put the seats back. Just as easy as they went down, they go right back up. Isn't that crazy? No motors, no gadgets, no gizmos, just a seat that folds and a seat that could come right back up. But why don't we go ahead, easily close that. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go for a little spin in this QX60. All right, guys, we are inside this 2024 Infiniti QX60 Autograph. And right away, this is the type of interior I want in an Infiniti. The materials are just mind-blowing how they upgraded them in here. The nice large head-up display, digital rear-view mirror, and very easy to get to that nice large 12.3-inch infotainment system screen. I have it in auto mode, which is going to basically be the easiest way to take care of everything. The all-wheel drive, the way the sensitivity to the steering and the throttle response is. There is a sport mode, which obviously will change some of that up a little bit. But other than that, I think 90% of the people will just leave it in auto mode, unless you're going to get personal and create a really just certain setup for your taste and style. Now, what's nice is that like a lot of other brands, when you make changes to different things, whether it be the headlights and windshield wipers, everything shows up nicely on that large digital display. But the seats are where it's at in this thing. The comfort, they're heated, they're ventilated, and like I said, they have that awesome massage setting to them. But I really feel if you're trying to get into a little bit larger crossover SUV than what you currently have, this is definitely the way to go, because it's not too cumbersome. It really has a good overall balance, and the way that Infiniti does such a unique shape to their hood, it allows you to have good visual reference points. And I really like the overall view out the windshield, not just with how much view we have, but I do like the shape of the hood, especially with those peaked fenders. Digital rear view mirror works fantastic. You have all of the different safety equipment, blind spot monitoring, lane keep assist, adaptive cruise, all those goodies. And then the fact that there's plenty of storage. And now we're gonna go on throttle. You ready? On throttle. So remember, you know, we have that naturally aspirated V6. That's gonna give you the torque delivery very low in that torque curve and carry it through. With the all-wheel drive, you got all the grip that you need. And that's gonna be great for people that live up north especially, but even people that live in rainy, super rainy climates like Florida, it's gonna allow you to always drive with confidence. But turning on the massage seats, really nice. And then you could, like I said, you could adjust it, set it up exactly the way you want it, and then you're right back to your navigation page. But the sound deadening material is great in here. The thickness of the side glass, the acoustic windshield really creates a nice, serene experience inside this QX60. It really shuts out the outside world. You're not getting a lot of road noise and a lot of wind noise, which is nice. They did a great job on the suspension because it allows it to absorb the bumps, but you're not getting a bunch of sway and body roll when you're taking a turn, which isn't always the case in these types of SUVs. But when you're driving in these traffic style situations like we're in right now, this is where the ease of this vehicle to get around makes it so simple. And we're gonna go on throttle again. You ready? On throttle, here we go. Smooth shifts from the 9-speed, which is great. And then you also have that head-up display that also gives you exactly what you need, your speed and what the speed limit is. It has a little speed limit sign there to let you know what the speed is. Sometimes head-up displays, I don't need every bit of information that's in the digital gauge cluster projected onto the windshield. That becomes a little too nuts. I think the one thing that might be a little bit cumbersome to operate while you're driving is just going to be the AC controls and the heated and ventilated seats. But I think once you own this vehicle for a little bit, you kind of get a muscle memory sense of where everything is located very, very easily. But it's that initial, like making sure you're hitting the right part, because if you hit up here, it's not going to make the proper adjustments. You got to hit right in the sweet spot to make those adjustments. But with the dual climate actual knobs, and you could sync it up very easily, and then all that storage that's underneath the center console area is really just a heaven sent. Guys, pulling away from the light, really just like the way, I really like the way this Infiniti QX60 behaves. Good throttle response without being too sensitive. And I think that you're gonna love this ZF 9-speed automatic. Such a better transmission than the CVTs that they've used before in the past. But I'm hoping that this has been a good overall review of what the QX60 top autograph trim is bringing. We're gonna get back to where it all started and wrap this one up, so I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, been another crazy day in so many ways with this Infiniti QX60. Definitely gotta thank the whole team over at Infiniti for allowing us access to this press fleet vehicle. Let me know what you think. Is Infiniti on to something with the redesign of the QX60, with the stuff that they're gonna be bringing, or would you rather go get yourself a BMW X5, or maybe just get yourself into a Pathfinder with the Platinum trim? Let me know down in that comment section. But if you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit the subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raised Rights family. Of course, we need to give it up, Stephen Flood. Stephen Flood Photography. He brings the sun. Sometimes he brings the rain. I don't like Stephen that much when he brings the rain, but show him some love in the comment section. Thank you, Stephen, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.